Hi, I'm Allison.
Hi, I'm Cara.
Welcome to our weekly podcast where we talk all things career, beauty, and lifestyle.
It's time for Beauty Break.
Hi, welcome to another episode of Beauty Break. I'm Allison.
I'm Cara. What else do we say? That's it.
That's it.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Welcome.
Welcome back.
Each episode, we like to take a moment, maybe 5 minutes, maybe 2, to just kind of chat about something that has come across our studios and conversations with clients. So this episode, I'm going to just dive right in if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you're cool with it?
I'll go next.
Sometimes we tell each other what we're talking about and sometimes we don't. So today we did chit chat prior to. So I already kind of know what you're going to talk about. You already know what I'm going to kind of talk about. But here we go. So something that I feel passionate about is it's okay to tell your stylist you're getting used to your color. It's totally okay to say, hey, I like it, but I also don't know right now. And the reason why I'm passionate about this is because you kind of have to think about the psychological effects of like changing your appearance. Right.
And with the new
with new color or a cut or a perm or anything.
Yeah.
Anything that changes your appearance can be almost like identity crisis right away when you look at it fresh and done. And the reason behind that is because we have this like snapshot in our head of what we look like. And every time we look in the mirror, we're like, that's me. I see myself. I get it. And when you make a change, all of a sudden you might be like, who is that? Who's staring back? But that doesn't mean you don't like it, right? It's just getting used to a change. And some people are so good with change and they're like, great, a new me starting now. And some people are like, oh, hold on, I'm confused what I'm staring at. And it's okay to say you're getting used to something to your stylist. And it's also okay to not like your color.
Yeah.
And I think, or your cut or whatever, it's okay to say, ooh, this isn't what I was thinking. 90% of the time, something is fixable in that moment. And it's like, you didn't know that could change. But just by saying what you're thinking is off, for example, if you're a blonde, easy example, and you're sitting down and you're like, this is feeling a little too warm for me. It's so easy to go back on top and just do a cooler gloss.
You mean in that
moment?
Oh, I see. Right. Yeah. Because the gloss will just.
Yeah, changes can happen. Yeah. Or if you're looking at the bangs that were just cut, it's really easy to be like, they feel heavy and you can actually like lighten up, the intensity of them. So it's okay to also not be happy. The one thing I will say that is hard and we get into a gray area, it can be difficult when you can't get exactly what you want in that appointment.
Mm-hmm.
It's important, though, for a stylist to explain your expectations in the consultation.
Right.
So, for example, if you want to be that icy blonde, it's important to have confirmation in your consultation that, hey, this might take longer to get to that clear, bright blonde. You might have to live with the warmth. That's also the responsibility of your colorist. And maybe your stylist being like, your hair's too short for that look right now, but we can set you up to get you to that point. Or even if you're getting a texture service and it's like this might wash out sooner than you think because your hair has multiple textured services on it, keratins, perms, things like that. Things that our day-to-day life can affect the longevity of those things. And the canvas of what you're bringing in, meaning your hair, the canvas, can also be affected. So it's important to have your expectations in the consultation. But sometimes if your expectations are not met, it's okay. It's okay to not like your hair. And it is a profession, and we're taught how to handle that and try to give you exactly what you want. We're not mind readers, but it's okay to not like something, and it's okay to get used to something.
So what do you do to prepare someone who just says, Allison, just do whatever you want? Like,
So I think there's 2 sides to this. Do whatever you want is never really something I'll ever do. I'll give you my input, but I'm never going to just be like, oh, today we're going to do something insane. I'll give my input. But I do think when you get to know your client for a long period of time, you know that the do whatever you want usually means I trust you with what we've been doing. So do the same
So
thing.
you've had that conversation.
Had that conversation. And sometimes if I feel confident with a client, I'll be like, okay, let's put some brighter pieces in. Let's put some darker pieces in. Let's glaze you a sandier version of brown or blonde or whatever. I will do that if I feel like it's important. But for the most part, I never just like do whatever I want. I feel like I'm here to give somebody what they've come in for and not necessarily what I want, you know? So
Yeah, but you're the expert too. So as you say, you give your input.
give my input, but I'm not going to completely alter someone's appearance, you know, if they're not ready for something.
So takeaway is to just really communicate with your stylist, your facialist.
And you probably won't hurt their feelings.
Yeah.
You know, we're professionals.
Yeah.
Be honest. You're paying for this service, you know? There is a transaction that's happening, and most stylists want you happy than to be upset or call back and say you did something at home to try to fix it on your own. Makes it all worse, honestly. Not a disaster, but it does add more steps sometimes. It could have just been a simple toner, gloss, glaze. Could have been a simple root smudge. It could have been something simple, but then if you take it into your own hands, sometimes it becomes a project.
That's great. That's a great overview because, that doesn't get talked about.
I know.
Yes. So I was going to just give a little public service announcement about, I have so many people asking me about at-home devices, what I should be using, and a lot of the thing with a lot of these devices is people don't use them continuously. So they just sit in the drawer and it's wasted. So your hands, massage makes such a difference for the skin. It can transform skin. Okay. So work massage into your skincare routine. Instead of cleansing for 10 seconds, cleanse for 2 minutes. With usually like a nice milky cleanser, like thing, with an active, like an active, acne, cleanser, something nice and creamy, and just massage and get into a nice routine. It's so relaxing. It's so good for your skin. You can do it twice a day, and it's going to build on itself. It's going to help with drainage. It's going to help with blood circulation. So massage your face. It's a free at-home tool, and the results are amazing.
So you don't have to spend $400 on a tool. You have them here.
Exactly.
Great.
Yeah.
Answers a lot of problems.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Okay, everyone. Now is our favorite time. Beauty breakdown. Today, we are thrilled to have Andrea with us, a dynamic globe-trotting flight attendant with 13 years experience soaring the skies. Born and raised in Queens, New York, Andrea's career has taken her to every corner of the world, fueling her passion for travel and discovery. A self-confessed wanderlust enthusiast and an avid Google Pin collector. She's always mapping out the best spots, from cozy restaurants and lively bars to fascinating museums, whether she's creating impromptu itineraries for friends, family, or even the passengers she meets. Andrea brings adventure to life in every journey. And if that wasn't enough, she's a huge Formula One fan and is even diving into learning Japanese. Join us in welcoming Andrea to the show. Hi. Thank you. Thanks for popping in today.
Do you know how to say hello in Japanese?
So it's evening. It's konbawa. Konbawa. Yeah. Konbawa. Yeah. Love that. It's a difficult language to master. Yeah.
Characters, right?
It's the characters. It's the pronunciation, the enunciations. It's a lot. Yeah. But it's been fun so far. Yeah. Very cool. I'm only 4 weeks in, so. She's in there, though. I know my number. What are you learning from? Like an app? Are you learning from a... So you're in school? Yeah. You're like in person? Yeah, my cousin and I, we're doing 2 days a week, Zoom, 1 hour. Wait. It's a class of 9 of us. That is so cute.
So it keeps you accountable. That's great.
Yeah, that's fun. And I'm sure you utilize it on flights sometimes, yeah? Not yet. I was taking sign language classes a couple years ago, and I definitely used that once
with some people, with some customers that we had.
Oh my
And
God.
I was like, coffee? And I don't think that's how it is. I can't remember anymore. But they were like, yeah. And I was like, okay.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
That was so cute.
yeah. I mean, also, it's like, let's just use our brains and challenge ourselves to something different. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's something that I actually love about you. And also, before we really do dive in, I am very lucky because you are a client of mine. And that is how we connected. And you were one of the people who inspired me to even get this cute little thing going. We were doing her colors. She was in the chair and she was like, you should talk to people on a podcast. Like, you should be mic'd up doing this. And I was like, would you listen? And you were like, yeah. So thanks for even giving me the confidence to like start this and be inspired. Like, you were one of the main people to
I
inspire.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
Catalyst. This.
Truly catalyst.
We have amazing conversations with her.
I know.
It's nonstop.
It's
2.5 to 3 hours of just chatting and venting and free therapy.
yeah, for both of us.
It's great.
It's jewel free therapy.
So before we start, like, I know, Allison, you have to talk a lot.
Totally.
Just because, you know, it's the nature of the business. And you have to be on all the time.
All the time.
Which I like when I'm sitting on a flight, I often think of that. Like you know, the flight attendants, like you have to be, you can't be grumpy face walking around. Like you have to, you know, draw from your well of
everything.
Professionalism.
Yeah.
It can be exhausting at times, especially if you're not having a good day or a good morning or an early, super early morning.
Yeah.
But I strive with it.
Part of the job.
It is, and it's fun.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I don't know you. I don't know what you're here for. Like, you don't know me. Like, let's just have a good next couple hours together.
Yeah.
We'll survive this together.
Yeah.
And enjoy your vacation.
Yeah. Or like business trip.
Yeah.
Hopefully vacation.
Hopefully vacation for the most part. Yeah.
So something we love to do is just like ask questions and see where the conversation goes. So I am going to ask you our question number 1. What inspired you to become a flight attendant, and how do you stay hydrated and energized during your long journeys? Because I don't know, I feel like I leave the airplane and I'm just like, all like, how do you do it?
So funny enough, I actually hydrate more when I'm traveling for leisure than when I'm traveling at work, when I'm working. It's the weirdest thing ever. I don't know what it is. And I've come to realize that whenever I'm on long flights or going on vacation or something, I'm constantly drinking water and water and water. And you're surprised on how much the air is not pure air on the planes. So you do feel dehydrated. You feel swollen and all that stuff.
What inspired you to become a flight attendant?
Yeah. So that it's actually a funny story. I was in college for stage management. I wanted to be a stage manager. I never saw myself at an office job, never saw myself 9 to 5. I enjoy something different every day. So I worked at the Starbucks across the street from our corporate office. And I had people coming in all day, throughout the day, and they were like, Andrea, you need to apply, you need to apply, you need to apply. And I was like, I don't know yet. So finally I was like, let's do it. Let's, fine. Let's travel. Let's see.
Which airline?
JetBlue.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So I applied, I got in, and it's been my longest relationship and it's been my best relationship.
Wow. So you've been at JetBlue for 12 years.
So yeah, mine 14. I'll be 14 years.
That's incredible.
Yeah. Oh my God. I was 22 when I started, and it's the best decision ever. So I'm so grateful to everyone that I met at the corporate office that said to me, come on, let's do it. Let's do it. And I had so many flight attendants coming in to my job as well when I worked at Starbucks. Became friends with some of them, still friends with one of them now, and he's great, Keith. And he also worked at Starbucks before. He's worked at JetBlue. So it's funny how you meet people like that also.
Yeah, you're like, that Starbucks was like the magic place. It's funny how a job that you get, you wouldn't have thought by working at Starbucks, it's gonna inspire me to become a flight attendant.
Oh.
It's just interesting how an opportunity can just catapult something or a choice you make.
Yeah.
Yeah. Since we have said flight attendant a couple times, I want to either lay something to rest or open the conversation because I have made this mistake and I am blown away that I'm making this mistake. I have said stewardess.
Yeah.
And I feel like, honestly, like an idiot because I'm wondering, is that sexist to you? Is that what are your thoughts?
I personally don't feel any kind of way about it. When I was growing up, I heard the word stewardess many times, and I feel like it's a non-gendered word as well. So flight attendant is a non-gender word. So personally, when people are like, "Oh, you're a flight attendant, you're a stewardess," I just say yes. I'm both. I'm a lot of things actually at work. I'm a flight attendant. I'm a therapist. I'm a medical personnel.
Yourself.
I have like so many hats under my belt, I guess. That's the saying. But so I personally don't get offended by being called either. Some people do. They're like, it's flight attendant. And I'm like, okay,
I wonder why people were offended by stewardess.
I personally don't know. I'm not sure. I never asked anyone older at work. I might bring that up at work on Saturday when I go back.
Get back to us.
We'll let you know. I just wanted to clear the air on that because when I was telling people that you were coming on, a couple times I was like, "Oh, she's a stewardess. She's amazing," and they're like, "You can't say that," and I was like, "Oh my god, I just felt terrible," and I was like, "I can't believe I don't know this," and so I thank you for clearing that up.
I mean, it's not clarification much, but for me, you can call me either one. I'm totally fine with it. Yeah.
Okay. Do you ever feel nervous or excited mid-flight? And can you share a moment when the skies surprised you?
Nervous. I had a point early in my career where it was for about a month that I was like, oh, I don't know if this is for me anymore. It was like a panic that just came over me. But I finally said, no, I need to get rid of this. Like, I need to get rid of this feeling. I need to get out of my head. This is what I enjoy doing. I love coming to work. I still love my job so much. Enjoy meeting my coworkers because even though I've been there for so long, there's some that I've never worked with. I've had classmates that I've never worked with, and we've been together for 14 years.
That's cool.
And there's some new ones that I may never see again for a couple of years. But so I said, it's just what I'm going to do. I need to get out of my head and just not be nervous. Like my complete faith is in our pilots and our system and like all we have. So mid-flight, honestly, the bumps calm me. It's the weirdest thing.
What?
Yeah, it's been pretty bumpy these past few days.
Okay.
And one of my coworkers, she's just like they're in the back nervous, and I'm here like, oh, this is amazing. Like, this is great. I'm so relaxed. Like, I'll just put my seatbelts on.
Yeah.
What has surprised me at work? Oh, we were doing service one day, and everyone's reaction is different to different things. So a fellow coworker, we're in the aisle, and we hit a slight little jolt, and she's been there longer than I had, and she like yelled, and I looked at her and I was like, "Are we okay? Are you okay?" Because everyone looks at us for security, for comfort, for everything. So I'm like, even if you have a moment, you have to internalize that. Still smile, look at everyone, give them reassurance because it's like,
keep you. Absolutely. When you're in the air too, I think it's like, absolutely.
Yeah. So I think those are a few of the things. Now I'm not, what's been happening lately, it's been interesting.
Unnerving, but sounds like they're all unrelated.
They are.
Right?
Yeah, they definitely are. I just think also with media, when one thing happens and it's like more things happen, just bring it to light more and
of course.
More.
Yeah.
But it's still the safest way to travel.
It is. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Safest way to travel. I saw a statistic the other day, and like the chance of something happening is like 1 in 13 million.
Yeah.
So that's a big one compared to a car or whatever. But we won't go there. Too much.
Totally.
But no, it's just I don't have doubts of when I go to work. For the most part, I go and I'm just like, it's going to be a great day.
You erase it. I have to.
It's something I love about her. And even when we're doing, hair or something, you can always turn the like feeling around. You've always been very good at being like, we're choosing the positive.
And frame it, right?
Yeah.
You frame it.
Really. And I have to say that probably that energy that you have naturally, like I feel so cozy next to you. It's crazy. But like that energy probably like goes out into the plane.
It does.
It
definitely does. And I'm like, I feel the energy. So even with like coworkers, right? If they're having a bad day, there are times that I'm just like, let me just stay away from them because I don't want to catch that, because then I might convey that to someone in a negative way, and I don't want to go about my day at all like that.
Yeah.
So you need so much self-awareness.
A lot.
Yeah.
I was once told that the concept of bad vibes actually has a scientific meaning. And the idea of feeling bad vibes or feeling that negativity of a coworker or another person is actually cortisol is our stress hormone, and it comes through the skin and it gets kind of evaporates into the air.
Yeah.
So like you technically can go by someone who's super stressed out and kind of like brush into their airspace and take a little bit of that cortisol. And it's a hormone reaction in a sense, and you can kind of like feel that in the air. So like you're kind of doing something that like actually has like scientific proof
with 200 people.
Yeah. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I'll look at this.
But I'm just like, all right, we're going to have a good day. Are you having a bad day? Would you like a drink? What can I get for you? How can we change your day around?
You know what you have on your side, though, when you're traveling so much is you're moving. So that's huge. Like, I'm moving all the time. You're not sitting. So I think that probably helps with maybe even staying hydrated, right? As opposed to someone sitting the whole flight.
Yes.
The flight attendants are moving around. So,
Yeah, that's true. They're like, this side of the plane, bad vibes. That side of the plane, let's go, party people.
I'm going to bring some of that sugar on this side.
Sprinkle it all around. Okay, this actually is kind of one of my favorite questions. I may have put this in our questions. Can you tell us about one of the coolest or most unexpected encounters you've had on board? Perhaps maybe like a celeb or something?
Oh, yeah. I'm thinking about this now. It's so, was flying, I can't remember if it was to or from LA. We had Alicia Silverstone on our flight, and she was like right in my exit row, and it took me a minute. And I was like, is that Cher?
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
I'm like, is that her? So I also try not to fangirl about too many of our customers or passengers, because I always think of it as they're just regular people like you and me trying to get from point A to point B, and they're on public transportation.
Yeah.
And we're just gonna just kind of like treat them neutrally, treat them the same, because I'm sure that's exactly how they want to be treated. But when she did come to the back, I just really quickly, I was like, I love you.
What did she say?
She's like, thank you so much. She was really sweet. She was really, really sweet. But yeah, I think she has probably been one of the few people that I've had on that I've actually said something to. There's another actor, I can't remember his name right now, but he's the little Chihuahua. Guzman. I can't remember his first name.
Luis Guzman.
Yes. I had him also.
And God. You would know.
Didn't realize him. I think it was like the movie. No, it's not All Dogs Go to Heaven.
Yes.
Is it? Isn't it?
Yeah, sure.
I think so.
I can't remember. Yeah. But I just remember him. That's for some reason.
I know your voice. And in my mind, you're a dog. And Chihuahua. Exactly.
But I didn't realize he was on our flight until he was coming off, and I was like, "Oh, thank you."
Surprise!
Yeah.
Have you had any celebs like make a ruckus or be a little crazy? You don't have to say name.
I did have one, and she was very unpleasant in the morning. Granted, it was a 5 a.m. flight to West Palm. My coworkers were fanning over her, and I was like, girls, just, we need to stay professional. Like I said, still a passenger, still point A to point B. And they were like, we want a picture with her. And I said, sure, no problem. If she's up for it, but we're not going to like, nag her or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So they were like, can we get a picture with you? And she's like, okay. And I'm here holding the camera and she looks at me, she's like, are you ready? And I was like, oh, okay. And I just snapped the picture and then they were like, do you want one? I said, no, I'm okay. Oh, we're good. Yeah. I was like, I'm not gonna bother her.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna take any of her energy.
Great.
I was like,
Leave it there.
Yep, that's it. But she was the one I was pleasantly surprised. I was like, wow, for her being such a big female figure.
And tell us when we stop.
Yeah, we're done now. I'll spill a name. But I was pleasantly surprised. I was like, I'm pretty sure it's hard to be a famous person, a celebrity, and a role model. So then when people are hounding you all the time
And you're stuck on a plane.
it's 5 a.m. Granted, you're tired, but I feel like you still have to, just like how we have to show face, in a way they have to show face.
They are public figures.
So
I heard you say something where it was like the girls were saying, oh, can we take a picture? Is there like a weird question? I'm sure there's a normal answer, but like, is there like a rank system as a flight attendant? Is there like a manager flight attendant? Is that a thing?
so a little bit.
Okay.
In a ways, with our company, we just started. We don't call it first class, we call it Mint, the Mint experience. We try to reinvent the wheel with names in our products, which is very cool, honestly. But we do have a lead flight attendant. So we're just known by like our numbers in a sense. So we have, flight attendant 1, 2, 3, and then depending on the plane, 4 or 5. So the flight attendant 1 is the lead. So pretty much she's in charge, he or she, or they are in charge maintaining the flight in regards of the pilot's needs, the gate agents. If there's a problem we can't solve as individuals, as the rest of us, then we'll speak to them and say, listen, this is what's going on. So the main flight attendant, the lead, or we'll call F1, they are the main point of contact with anything that happens on the plane.
Okay.
We all can still assume the same roles in communication-wise, but what the company wants us to do is be like, hey, let's say, Allison, you're the F1. I'll call you and say, hey, Allison, this is wrong in the bathroom. Or can you change the temperature? Can you call the pilots to change the temperature?
Oh, the pilots do that.
Yeah.
Oh,
depending on the aircraft.
So you've the number one kind of delegates.
For the most.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. So
you need someone.
Yeah.
Did you do that? I'll do that. No, you do that.
Hand.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What is one of the most bizarre or hilarious moments you've experienced on a flight, from either like a quirky passenger or maybe like a unexpected in-flight mishap? In my mind, I'm like, you've poured the orange juice that you're giving to someone all over them. Like, that's my biggest fear.
Does that happen?
Like,
It does.
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
faking.
A lot of things. We had an incident a couple months ago where one of our flight attendants was pulling out a bag from the overhead bin to try to. We're great at Tetris.
Yes.
Yeah.
I bet.
We are amazing at Tetris.
Yeah.
And the bag slipped, and it wasn't a roller bag or something. I think it was a duffel bag or something. It slipped and it hit someone's phone, and their phone cracked. And
That's
it's-
random.
Yeah, super. And we have to write reports on anything that happens that's just like that can come back to us, things like that. So she comes to the bag and she's like, oh my God, this happened. And I said, it's okay. We're just, things happen. We're all human. We make mistakes. It could happen to you or an actual passenger that it could have fell. I'm like, we'll just write a report. I cover our own bags, let the company know, like, if this passenger reaches out, yes, it did happen. This is what we did. Have I ever? Oh, I remember when I first started, we were taking, so right now we do carts. So we do carts in the aisle. Before, back in the day, we used to write down pen and paper and then deliver, so we'd be back and forth. Like, I can't imagine how many miles I have on walking these aisles.
Yeah.
And this lady a passenger asked me for a water. Completely forgot. Normal. And it's just like, okay. I think I woke up on my layover that night and I was like, the water.
It came back to you.
It came back to me.
Oh, that
Like, it was like 2:30 in the morning, and I was like, oh no, hey Charlie wanted a water.
Dedication, right?
What does H Charlie mean?
Oh, so AC, the seat number, yeah.
Okay, it's so is that military
It's
alphabet or like
Greek alphabet.
Greek,
Yeah.
it's like
Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, Echo, and Frank.
Ooh.
So that's all. Yeah. So when we're doing like, it's funny.
So that happened when you first started.
Yes. When I first,
I'm sure you were just trying to be so perfect and regimented.
yes,
And then she had a nightmare.
and yeah, and I was like, oh no, she forgot the water.
I've had experiences with people who have like taken, let's say, some type of a drug or a sleeping pill or drank too much. And like, you do forget that in the air, there is different vibes going on with your body, and blood is like thinner or
It's because the air is different.
Right.
So we're only, I don't quote me, but I'll fact check myself later. I want to say the oxygen is only 17% pure oxygen. The rest is recycled. So alcohol does take a huge factor, and it's completely different. So what we tell someone is 1 drink in the air is 2 drinks on the ground.
Yep.
Oh, so you're pretty much doubling up your alcohol intake because the air quality is less. Yeah, it's really interesting how that happens. So
Has anyone ever like gone nuts on the plane?
big time, absolutely.
Please,
I have,
please enlighten us.
and this is where my calmness and my therapy sessions come in. Yeah, we had this one. It was DC to Orlando. How I remember some of these things, I don't know. But it was DC to Orlando. This guy comes on and he's just having a really bad day. And I noticed he had a hospital wrist band on. So he is doing his e-cigarette. And passenger next to him says, hey, comes to the bathroom, just to let you guys know, this guy is smoking his e-cigarette. And we're just like, okay, yeah, we can't do that. So as he comes to the bathroom, he comes up later, goes to the bathroom. And I'm like, hey, like, are you okay? And he's like, no. Just like starts blurting out, like, just wait till I land. I'm going to kill this person. All this stuff. And I'm like, okay, what's going on? So he just like plops to the floor, grabs his phone, starts smashing his phone on the ground. And I'm like, all right, something is happening here. Let's deep dive. Let's calm him down. One of my coworkers who I was working with, actually my classmate, she's military, ex-military.
Okay.
So she's very like rough and tough, like, doesn't deal with any BS. And she's like, what's going on? And I'm just like, listen, we can't speak to him like this. Another coworker of mine, he's very like, I'm not dealing with this. Like, I don't have the mental capacity. And I said, I'll handle him. So I like got down to his level. I'm like, what's going on? What's wrong?
Yeah.
So he was just having like a mental breakdown.
On a flight.
Oh yeah. He just kept smashing his phone. I was like, let me hold on to your phone for a bit. We just hold on to this. He's like, did I break it? I'm like, yeah, you did a pretty good job.
Yeah.
So you're relating to him, and you're not talking down to him
At all.
right? You were
Yeah.
down to him. You were
Because also we're in a
himself.
confined area.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just like, I have to be cautious of everything else and everyone else and how.
So I don't know if you can answer this. Do you have wardens on every flight or
No.
marshals?
Air
No.
marshals.
No marshals. Okay.
No,
Yeah.
no,
They're not?
no, no.
I thought they were.
No.
Maybe
I like
for
to-
international
I like
flights
to
or no?
spy out.
It's I feel like they get scattered around. So
Okay.
we don't know until moments before
Okay.
they're about to board if they're gonna be on.
Okay.
It's not like I have my schedule. I got my schedule a month ahead of time, so it's not like they don't give us advance warning
Okay.
in a sense. So they're just like, you're gonna have
Right.
this today, and we're just like, okay, great, and we don't utilize them unless something is major.
So a guy in the back cabin laying on the ground, throwing his phone into the ground.
No, because he's not a threat to the flight.
Okay.
He's a threat to himself.
Okay.
And in that regard, we had to just, like I said, speak to him calmly, try to keep calm. And thankfully, there was gentlemen in the back row, and they were like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "I'm fine." I'm like,
nice.
when I feel like things are getting out of hand, then I know I can. We call them able-bodied persons, so we're always scanning our passengers.
Really? Yeah. What would me and Cara get?
Definitely able-bodied person.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah, yeah. You guys look like you're able and willing to assist in case of an emergency.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but yeah, it's just calmness and empathy.
Yeah.
Because we just don't know what everyone's going through.
Absolutely. This actually leads me into my next question is I think many people have misconceptions about what it takes to be a flight attendant. And what do you think is the most misunderstood part of your job?
I think people just think we're there just to serve them Cokes and chips.
Right.
And I'm like, our job entails so much more.
Yeah.
You know, if you need first aid, we'll be there. If you need CPR, we'll be there. If a fire erupts on a plane, we're there to bring it out. You know, our main job is safety.
Yeah.
You know, and I take that really big. I'm just like, you know, we're all adults here.
Totally.
We are entitled to our feelings, to our moods, especially with coworkers, you know. And I say, like I said, we're all adults. We all got hired the same. We all got trained the same. So when it comes to safety or medical, just be there for me and back me up. And I feel like a lot of passengers, they just think that we're their servants.
Yeah.
In a sense.
Like
Right.
waiters or waitresses.
Yeah. And I'm just like, oh, to a point.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, I'm
Listen, if something happens, you have to rally everyone. You have to have your composure and go to the, you know, have everyone leave. And
90 seconds. We have 90 seconds to try to get that plane evacuated.
Oh my gosh.
But it's fun. It's fun. And
I'm sure you have so many thankful passengers.
Oh, so many.
Yeah.
They're passengers with children. Oh my gosh, we have so many that it's either great or not so great. And the not so great, it's like me personally, I try to go up to them like, what's going on? What's up? Yeah. You know, try to make it a
playful way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then especially the parents are traveling by themselves. You have single
baby.
Yes. I had one the other day, and I always go up to our single moms or dads.
Yeah.
And I personally say, if you need help, let me know.
Yeah.
Let any of us know. Yeah. Like, if you need to use a bathroom, one of us holds the baby. If you need to warm up some water for, you know, like, we're here.
We were recently on a flight overseas, and this baby screamed for an hour, or, you know, it's just for everyone, it's so different.
And their ears are difficult to vary because they're little and they can't, like, I don't know about you, but I'm like chewing gum. I'm like doing, my ears are so sensitive in the sky. And it's just like they can't
vocalize the way we can.
Yeah.
Especially new.
It's not their fault.
It's not.
It's hard for everybody.
It is.
It's not.
And I get it. Yeah.
And for any moms listening, it is okay to ask for help, to go to the bathroom. It is okay.
1,000%.
Find your able-bodied.
1,000%. I'm here for you. I'm here for you. Yeah. You see me? Hand it over. Hand the baby over.
Yeah.
Okay. Before we wrap, just quickly, people doing beauty stuff. You see lots of people doing sheet masks and nesting and
definitely the masks, hydrating masks.
Yeah.
Definitely their makeup.
Yeah.
Right before we land.
Yeah.
Right.
Gotta look good for your significant other.
Great. You know, and they have the best natural light.
Yeah, I've done that before. 100%. I'm like flying into Hawaii. I'm like, oh my God, I'm about to see my boyfriend.
And I love seeing that. I'm like, you're so cute. They fix their hair, they took the rollers out or whatever. Yeah. And it's great to see that. It's just like, okay, you're ready.
Yeah.
You know, like, I'm excited for you for whatever adventure you're about to take.
Oh, but that's the way you see it.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah. And when I love when people are like, can I get more water and more water? And I'm like, they come with their Yeti and they fill it up. I'm like, sure. Not a problem.
You're like hydration for all.
Big time. Yeah. Yeah. So that's great. I love it. It's fun. Funny thing with the hydration and the water, I take my own water on the plane for the most part, which is the weird, you know, people say the water is all the same. It's not. Yeah. No, it's not all water.
It's tanks and they clean them, and they probably very often.
They have like special tablets that they put in extra strength, and then the hot water is great because it's like
boiling.
boiling.
Yeah.
That's my fear.
Yeah. She's not afraid of crashing.
I'm not. She's
terrified.
I'm terrified of spilling hot water on somebody.
Right. Yeah.
Terrified. So I'll grab it like,
All this. Cat tops.
we have tops.
Oh, okay. Because
Some airlines don't have tops.
and I'm like, that is a hazard.
Yeah.
We are floating in the sky.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't have a top thing off in a car. I wouldn't have like.
especially if there's
What are we doing? I had it spilled.
When they fill their cups to the brim, I'm like,
Wild,
that's not
small
necessary.
activity. Wild. I have 100% spilled specifically orange juice all over myself, and I was very young, and it has been in my brain forever.
Oh my
I will
gosh.
never do anything when it's an open container on an aircraft. I'm always like, give me the can, the full can. I need the can.
No, we give out cans. We have lids.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just like, here you go. Be careful.
Since we're wrapping up here and we're finishing our convo, we always ask one final question, and that is, what does beauty mean to you?
Beauty for me is positivity, and it's being grateful, being thankful. And I feel like all of that will just exude out of you. And that it just makes you such a beautiful person. You know, beauty isn't just makeup, hair, materialistic things. It's your being. And you guys are beautiful.
You're beautiful.
You know, this has been great. And thank you.
I'm so impressed by you. I want to be on your flight.
I want you to be on my flight.
I didn't book my JetBlue.
If any listener ever does get on your flight and they're like, we saw you on Beauty Brief, what can you get for them?
Zoo.
Yeah. What can you get? Can you get them a drink?
I can absolutely calm them and drink.
All right. Here first.
Or 3.
I did pressure it, but you heard it. Well, 3 actually means 6.
Means that with water in between each one.
Totally.
Thank you so much.
Oh my gosh.
This was so fun.
So insightful. I learned so much.
Thank you for having me. It's been great.
Okay, everyone. Thanks again for listening, watching, streaming, however you are here right now. Please do not forget to like and subscribe, and we will see you next time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.